Welcome back. Today is the final week of Conscious October, our month where we are simplifying our diet and eating very consciously. I have two guests with me today, Margaret Olson and Selena.
So Selena is a new friend to me. Years ago, my husband and I were at a health center in Tennessee where we were able to get a whole bunch of helpful training. And Selena has just finished that 4-month training school, and she has a big heart interest to have a vegan-vegetarian restaurant in Nashville, Tennessee. Some of the things are already in place for that, and we'll tell you some more about that in a while. We're just glad to have her with us.
Well, thank you for having me.
You bet.
So where do we go from here? As we've said throughout the series, we're not here to prescribe. We're here to give you a possibility, another way of looking at food and nutrition that maybe you haven't considered before. I know diet has healed me personally. It's also healed Margaret. And the one commonality between both of our diets, although our ideology is different, we both eat a high fiber, high fruits and vegetable, whole food diet.
And we concentrate on organic food.
Mm-hmm.
We're very careful to avoid genetically modified food.
Mm-hmm. And to simplify not only what you're taking into your body, but what you're putting on your body. Throughout the series, Margaret's been following along, and there's some additional information that you would like to share. Mm-hmm. And specifically fiber is one of the things that is so vital, and the studies continually reinforce that high fiber diets, whether there's animal products in them or not, definitely increase health, vitality. And people often say, you don't eat meat, you're against meat. I'm not against animals, which is just 4 things, like basically pigs, cows, and sheep. I'm just pro vegetables. And so you can look at it from, I can't go without this in my diet, that's lacking, I could never eat that way. Or you can look at it from the perspective of, look at all of the things that I have.
Can eat.
Yes, at my disposal. And so I'm definitely not anti-meat. I'm anti-factory farmed meat. I think it's terrible. I think we should do away with it. But I am pro-vegetable. So if there's any takeaway that you get from this, it's just to increase the amount of fruits and vegetables, fresh fruits and vegetables that you eat on a daily basis. Then I will be very happy.
And I'll be happy too, because I've talked with so many people over the years, and everyone's in a different place. Mm-hmm. And while my place, as Corinne has said, is a little different than hers, the passion is the same, to do what's best for our health. So we need to be students. Each one of us is responsible for our health. What we put in our bodies affects our health. I've just been so delighted to have this opportunity to share with you this month. I want to just affirm with you too that you just need to be on a journey of being conscious of what you put in and being a student. So I was thinking over what we have shared so far and remembering a very simple illustration that was given to me years ago that I wanted to share with you. You are made up of cells. Lots of different kinds of cells. They vary greatly. While it's not true of all the cells in your body, it's true of a vast majority of your cells that they are totally restored and replaced every 120 to 180 days. So every 6 months you have a whole new set of cells. So wouldn't it make sense that if we knew how to take care of those cells, it could make a big impact on our health? It would give us good blood. Our blood is our lifeline in our body. While it gives us oxygen, it also transports toxins out of our body and many other functions. So how do we take care of those cells? There are 5 simple things for you to make note of. The first one is oxygen. Cells need oxygen to thrive. We need oxygen, we know, to thrive. If you're not familiar with how to breathe deeply, you should do some checking up on that. Most of us only use a very small portion of our lung capacity. We only use a very small portion, the lower half sometimes, and maybe even more for some of us of our lungs. The air just kind of floats around down there because we don't take deep breaths very often. We're shallow breathers. So deep breathing. Water. Water outside, water inside. That's number 2. Item number 3 is nutrition or nutrients. Organic, if you can. If it's not available to you, do the very best you can. Make sure you practice good hygiene with cleaning your vegetables. If you're juicing, I really stress using organic, because in the juice, it takes a pound of carrots to make 8 ounces of juice. So look what concentration you're getting. Even more important that I think that it be organic, if at all possible. Grow it in your own garden. If you don't have a garden yet, plant a garden. Item number 4 is waste elimination. Good digestion. A very simple principle to know is for every meal of the day you eat, which for many people in the United States is 3, breakfast, lunch, and dinner, you should have a significant elimination for that meal. If you're not, then you should look at your digestion. Increase the fiber in your diet, and work towards that goal. And it doesn't happen overnight, but if you're drinking your water and eating good foods, eating fiber, you're going to see improvement there. And that's going to improve your overall health, because you'll be eliminating in a timely manner and not having toxins recirculate into your body. The last one is keep the poisons out. And Corinne made mention a little bit of that already this evening, paying attention not only to what you eat, but to what you put on your body. You know, your skin is a vital organ. It's big. Your skin is your biggest organ. It's really important to read labels. If you're not a label reader, I strongly encourage you to consider doing that. If you can't pronounce it, don't eat it. Don't wear it. At least until you've done some research and you know what it is you're putting on your body. So that's a little formula, Corinne, that I wanted to share that I think is simple and profound when we're talking about supporting our bodies, boosting our immune systems.
If you think about it in those simple 5-step terms that we're basically nourishing ourselves, those are things that we can all do.
Everyone can wrap their mind around that. You know, and we want to encourage you tonight, and we, I think, have done pretty well each time we've been together. There is light at the end of the tunnel. There is.
Every day, our bodies protect us from pathogens, protect us from germs, from viruses, and a lot of times we get sick because we just have a compromised immune system. Our bodies aren't as strong as they could be. Now, this is kind of the summary of this whole thing, and I know I've gotten a lot of detractors from the meat-eating faction out there, and what I'm here to say, it's not my opinion. This is something that I have chosen as a lifestyle based on the research and science. And it's not information that I have exclusivity on. It's widely published and available. National Geographic did an interesting, they had a series dedicated to people that live the longest, cultures all around the world that live the longest. And they looked into what they had in common. And there's a book about this called The Blue Zone. Same thing, similar research methodology. And what all of these different pockets of people have in common is they eat a high fiber diet that is primarily plant-based protein, and they have access to sunshine, they mitigate their stress, and they generally live in family groups that are very supportive of one another. Interestingly enough, the longest lived, longest researched group was a group of Japanese living on the island of Okinawa. And they studied this, they've been studying these people for a long time. The Okinawans have a really interesting diet because over 90% of their diet is Okinawan sweet potatoes. Ironically, the Okinawans have not been very good at keeping the influences of Western culture out. There are 14 KFCs in Okinawa, and the longevity is decreasing. Their health and Western diseases are increasing. There's another group of people that have been studied widely, and it's the Adventists of Loma Linda, California. And now the Adventists have actually usurped the Okinawans in longevity, living between 10 and 14 years more than the average person, which is really extraordinary. Now, the Adventists are interesting as a study group because they are their own control group. You have a group of people living a similar lifestyle but not eating the same diets. You have Adventists who are very strict vegans, and you have Adventists that are carnivores, and you have vegetarians in the middle. And so they look at a group of people as a unified group. They can use them as a control. The vegans live the longest, have the fewest diseases, weigh the less. The vegetarians are a close second, but not quite as good as the vegans. And then the meat eaters, although they are healthier than the general population, they're not as healthy as the vegetarians or the vegans.
So I was really excited recently when I saw this article on the Okinawan diet. I feel just richly influenced for the last 30 plus years as a vegan vegetarian. I've been richly blessed all these years and very thankful now to be in a position where I get to share recipes and encouragement. This is my first time sharing encouragement in this setting, which has been a treat. But for the last 18 years in our little store here in Hood River, talked with a lot of people, and many people are really open, and I know a lot of you are too. So I want to encourage you to make some good choices. And I thought I would tell you about a place that influenced me greatly in Tennessee, which we've referred to a little bit already. It's called Our Home Health Retreat. And for more than 25 years now, people have been going there with all kinds of health concerns to learn lifestyle principles to apply in their own lives to make a difference. And over the years, because of the vast experience they've had and the tremendously wonderful results, they've created health protocols.
Maybe 8 books.
At least 8, maybe more books on specific health concerns, from allergies to high blood pressure to arthritis to cancer to diabetes. And each one of these books is individually designed for those ailments. But the interesting thing is that a vast amount of what's in each one of these protocols is the same, because your lifestyle impacts your health tremendously. Simple things that you can do in your day-to-day life. We talked about the cells and how to nourish those cells. All of those steps are done at home and don't cost a whole bunch of money. So while it's very interesting that there are lots of separate little booklets, each one of those protocols has a lot of the same information in it from book to book. And then it's fine-tuned, zeroing in on cancer or diabetes, whatever the need may be. And so my point is that there are places where help is available, places that have a lot of experience that can be an encouragement to you in lifestyle choices.
And so you have just graduated.
Yes, I just did the 4-month program at that school, and we learned so much of what Margaret has been talking about. In the Nashville area, we're actually beginning the process of starting a vegan-vegetarian restaurant, and so that should be coming very soon to your area.
And Margaret told me you're going to culinary school in New York.
Yes, I will be a student at the Natural Gourmet Institute in New York starting in November. So 6 months from there, I will come out as a certified chef.
How fantastic.
Yeah.
So hopefully we'll see some recipes from you in the future.
Of course.
I would love it. Thank you for being here.
Thank you.
So thank you. We'll see you next time. Researchers have long noted the correlation between health and well-being and the people around us. People who have a support group, a peer group of healthy individuals supporting them on their journey,